I'm beginning to realize, some of these physicians go through some pretty intense training, and I'm very grateful that they're trained well. I said, Randy, was that the hardest thing you ever experienced? And he looked at me and got this. He's a high C. He got this real eerie grin on his face. And I said, what? He said, I was just thinking about the hardest day I ever faced in graduate school. I said, what was it? He said, the first day of school, in medical school, the professor walked into the room and he had I thought he had a glass of orange juice in his hand. He said he walked in the room. He said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a glass of urine. He stuck his hand in the urine and went. He said, I want each one of you to do what I just did. He said, and if you don't do what I just did, I will fail you and your medical career will end today. Randy said, I sat there and I thought to myself, is this legal? Can he do this? But none of us were willing to challenge him. He's a medical doctor, professor, and we're first day students in medical school. We're all looking around the room at each other. Everybody in the room has graduated from college. They're in the top of their class in physics and chemistry and biology. And they're in medical school first day. And the professor put the glass of urine in front of them and asked them to taste it. Randy said, one by one, we stuck our fingers in it. And Randy said, when it got to me, I thought to myself, I don't even know whose urine this is. But he said, I was afraid to challenge the teacher, so I stuck my hand and I tasted it, and all I remember was it was warm and salty. He said, when it went around the room, and he said the professor was very careful. He walked in front of each one of us. He didn't pass it around. He took it to each one of us, row by row, person by person. He said when he got through, the professor got it back in his hands, and he said, now let me ask you a question. How many of you noticed that I stuck this finger in the urine and this finger on my tongue? And then Randy looked up from me and he said, you know what, Robert? He said it was the best lesson I ever learned in my life about being a good physician. Here's what it's called. Have observation and pay attention to what you're doing. If you're not careful, you may misdiagnose your patient. Do you think that, ladies and gentlemen, do you really believe that doctors have never misdiagnosed somebody? They've given them the wrong blood type, the wrong medicine. They've accidentally killed their patient. They didn't mean to. That's why, how many of you in this room want your doctor, when you're going to him or her, to give you their 100% undivided observation attention? Can I see your hand? See, we want that from other people. This business requires us learning to observe what's taking place around us.